Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk, and I'm going to be using Positive Thoughts, you might have guessed. And this is the video tutorial for the card I made for the Stamp and Hop blog hop that I was on probably yesterday. It hasn't happened yet, obviously. So the theme was to case Pinterest. So a card I saved ages ago on Pinterest when I was thinking of getting this stamp set was one by Gail Ellis, and she is Blue Rose Paper Treasure, and she made, I don't know if you can see that, these 3 cards with positive thoughts, and I just loved them all. And it's using Pretty Peacock, I think, which I love, but I'm going to do it with Old Olive just to make it different, and I'm kind of going to go for that one there is the one I thought about rather than any of the others, which are also very pretty, but I wanted to go for that one. Okay, so I'm casing that and then doing my own little thing with it. Okay, so I'm changing it to Old Olive simply because I did a cardstock stock take and found I had absolutely shed loads of Old Olive and crumb cake, and I've only got a couple of sheets of Peacock, Pretty Peacock, so until I get some more I don't want to use too much of it. So I'm just going to cut this in half to make my card base. So this is a UK standard A6 card base. Oh, that's come off its track. Push it back on. There we go. So yeah, half a sheet of A4 cut in half, scored in half. I like to butt it on my trimmer to score it like that. I found I did have a mat already cut in Very Vanilla, which will go on the inside, and then I'm going to cut another one that's too big, isn't it, to go on the outside. So I've got this marked up to 1/4 of an inch shorter and thinner, so they're marked up so I don't actually have to think about it. And so that is going to be for the front, so we got like 1/8 of an inch border all the way around, which is perfect. And I've got a little bit there which will be cut down, and then out of crumb cake I'm gonna, oops, I am going to stamp, but I'm going to cut this die here. So this was the coordinating dies. I'm not sure if these are available still. It was during celebration and while stocks last, so I don't know if that means that if they've still got stocks you can still buy it. I haven't checked. So I'm going to cut that out of that, and I'm going to cut a card mat out of it as well, because I haven't decided. I think I might do the card mat in Old Olive crumb cake as well. So I'm going to cut this down to card mat size, because I won't know until I've done it what I like best. So I'm going to cut them both out and see. So it might do it that way around. Okay, so that'll be for when I'm ready for die cutting, and that's for some stamping. Okay, so let's move all of this out of the way. They will be distressed. I might do it that way, so we'll leave them there. So I want to do some stamping. I haven't mounted them yet. I'm gonna just have a quick skeg at the picture again yeah, so sort of doing some stamping and some die cutting. So we want to stamp that one and that one. And that one. It's been embossed. I haven't got that embossing folder, but that wasn't the one I was going to use anyway, so that's okay. And this one is Friends Like You Mean More Every Year, and I'm going to use that sentiment because I have got somebody in mind that I'm sending this to. So and I have used, it's the one sentiment on this that I haven't used, so that'll be good. Right, these aren't set up yet. I'll just peel them off and I'll set them up after. If I can actually get the thing out. I lost my nail on there, and that one and that one. So, but I would have. I was due to have my nails done the first day of sort of lockdown, but had to cancel anyway. I think they were open that day because we didn't go in lockdown till later, but I was already not going out because of medical reasons anyway, so I had to cancel. So let's get them all mounted. Oh, just dropped a dauber down the side. I've got a little gap. It's really annoying, and I always think, oh, I must sort that out. Got a little gap just to the left of where I film and a shelf, and I'm forever knocking things off the shelf. So so yeah, très annoying. Right, so I'm gonna stamp these in Old Olive. I might need another scrap actually. That one. And that one. That one. Not sure if that will allow for cutting out, so we'll do it there. And then I'm doing the sentiment, and then these will all be die cut. There we go, put them on my chamois, and I'm going to die cut that out of a stitched rectangle because there's kind of stitching. Well, it's not stitching, but there's holes going on with this one, so I'm going to do a stitched rectangle, which I believe is what was done in the original. So we've got these dies. So we've got a butterfly to go on there. We've got that leaf there. We've got that there, which needs fiddling till you get to where it should be. Easier said than done. That's it. There you go, that way. Stitch rectangle for that one. Let me have a look at them. Kind of thinking one of these, the second smallest one. Oh, do you know? Let's get my pokey tool. Perfect. There we go. So we'll have that one. And then out of some crumb cake, I'm going to cut that, the feather, and I've cut this as well. So I'm going to get all those cut out and then we'll see where we are. So I've done all the die cutting and I've done the embossing as well, and I'm using this new embossing folder, which is a pre-release, so it's going to be in the annual catalogue, but you can buy it now. So this is part of the Ornate Gardens suite. I can't remember what it's called now and I haven't got the bit of paper here, and I thought I'd kept the packaging, but I can't find it. So I've cut out both because I haven't decided which one I'm going to use, but then a sort of really nice sort of floral and foliage sort of pattern on there, really deep, and yeah, really like it. So using that, so I've done all the others as well, all ready to go. So let's bring our card blank in. So I was going to cut a very vanilla round that if I choose it this way, and actually I would still do it even if I choose to do it this way, because I'm going to distress all that. So this measures, it's looks like 4 3/8 by 2 7/8. So I'm going to cut a piece that's 4 1/2 by 3 in very vanilla. I'm just looking to see if I've got a scrap nearby. Don't appear to. So that's been on my desk, which it's not a very good way to treat cardstock, is it? So we'll take it out of this. 3 by 4 1/2. So down 3 to 4 1/2, which is about there. Go along there to 4 1/2. That should bring us down to meet. Lovely. There we go. And then because I turned that over, I've got a cut side on both. So I'm just going to rub where that cut side is with my bone folder and do it on both sides, just in case I forget which way. There we go. So that will just give us a tiny little mat around there, which is quite good. So that'll either go on there or on there. So that's where we are. And then these will just get layered on. That can go on there, layering that, bit of linen thread. Thinking I may well do it that way, or that way. That's fairly nice, and actually if that's distressed, that might be the way I'm going. So I've got some crumb cake ink to distress with. I've got some makeup brushes, and so I'm going to do a bit of ink blending around, and I think I'm going to do it on this crumb cake as Oud Olive as well, because that's looking a bit too bright. I think that needs taking down a bit, and I want to distress all the others as well. So just going to rub on that, go around the edging a bit. Been doing lots and lots of ink blending and distressing like this in my junk journal, which I'm enjoying doing it. If you're into junk journaling, you'll be able to find it in a playlist. If you go to my playlists, I've got a playlist for junk journals. Got one for my Facebook Lives as well. I did think about doing a playlist for shabby chic, for my 3D projects, Christmas, just to make things easy to find. Now, with this, because it's embossed, should be able to run it over and it sort of pick up where it's embossed nicely. How lovely. Can you see the difference? See where it's picked it all up. So how's everybody doing in lockdown? By the time this comes out, we'll be nearly in our second week of April. So I've been in for 2 weeks, plus a week in Futurventura. So I'll be about 5 weeks into it now. It makes you appreciate some of the little things in life. Yep, like that. Gonna do some over these as well. So that's gonna go on there. Might go around the edges a little bit stronger. So distress this a bit. So this is going to be like proper shabby chic, which I love. There we go. I might go fast over this section. I might not. So I'll carry on talking just in case I decide to leave it all in. Now these bits, although they're already crumb cake, I'm going to sort of add a little bit something by using the ink on it. Same with this, got to poke all those bits out. We'll just bend it up, Jez. Oh dear me. And then on my little sentiment as well. And then we'll go around the edges of this. Really only going to see the very, very edge, because it's going to get covered mainly by the mat. I think on the original it was roughed up a bit as well. I'm not going to do that. And then on this as well, it's going to have a bit of this stamped over it. Oh, I've just had it sat on the chamois, which I have literally just wet. That's better. So I'm going to do a bit of this. Over the background. That'll be enough, I think. And I want to get this out to go, so we've got much darker on the edges. I've ordered myself some new sponge daubers. Decided I needed a dauber at least in all of the neutrals. So I'm just waiting on them to arrive. So far deliveries do not seem to be affected, which is good. So I am lucky, I've got somebody that's going out shopping for me. And panic buying seems to have died down a bit now, and don't seem to have any major shortage of anything that I want. So I do hope everybody else is managing. Around the edges of these as well. And this one. Just think, gives it a little bit of a crisper line around the edge. That you don't get with the blending tool. Not that it's a blending tool. Well, it's a makeup blending tool, but it does work well on inks. And then I'm just going to go round the edge of this as well. And then we need to go round. I do love this rectangular die. Just think it's such a pretty effect around the edges there. And then I'm just gonna rub down this a bit, and then I didn't do any blending with this. I'll do some now. There we go. So should be ready now to put it all together. I'm going to decide about the linen thread because I need to put that on before I stick this down. Knock these out. Not really looked at the picture again. I do that, I think, oh yeah, I like that. Then I start making it, and then I just go off on my own and don't really refer much to it. There. And I'm not sure if I'm going to put linen thread on. So I quite like that. I might just do a bow. Might not. Right, so let's get these stuck down to this, and then I can at least decide whether or not I want to go around it. So I'm going to stick that. Right, I'm going to get my new Tombow. There we go. Did a bit of a glue stock take as well, and added some more of this to my list, even though I've actually got loads. But don't want to run out. I don't want it to end up that we can't get deliveries and I've got no Tombow. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Don't really want to live through that again. I did a Zoom crafting with my sisters and my niece, and then a couple of days later my niece was, because her son saw us crafting, said, I want to do some crafting, mummy. So she was crafting with him the next day, and she sent me a text going, I've run out of glue. I'm like, nightmare. I said they do sell it in supermarkets, but I think the range is open near where they live, so that's a bonus. I said, oh, you just have to order some. But you don't want to pay P&P on just one lot of glue, so she was like waiting until she had a bigger order, which is sensible. And I don't live close enough to pass her one of mine. Okay, that on there. Love this feather. I think I'm going to try pull up some of these. I'll poke from the other side just to give them a bit of dimension. I'm going to do the same with the butterfly, give that a bit of dimension. Yeah, bit better. Stick that down without poking down all these bits that I've spent time poking up. And we'll just get the bone folder and go over the what I quite like to do is put a few mini dimensionals on the wing so that it kind of stays up in that sort of flight mode. So even if it gets a bit flattened in the post, because I will be posting this, the butterfly will actually stay up a bit. Put a little bit dabs of glue on this. Because it is going to get held down by that sentiment. Right, this is when it goes all a bit, because that bit's on cockeyed. It's hard to see when that's straight or not. So this is where I think I might put a bit of linen thread. So I'm going to catch it in place with some fast fuse. There we go. Right, I'm going to glue this down before I put the sentiment on so that I can properly see where is straight. So I'm going to put that on dimensionals. Get 3 on that, 1 in the middle. So the thread's ever so subtle back there, but poke it out from under there. But I think it gives it a little bit of something, adds to the layers. And let's see the card I cased. So I've changed it a bit. Because they had the sentiment down there and the butterfly on the other side. I haven't stuck it in the same places, used different embossing folder, but yeah, basically I did take that idea, just put a little bit of a twist on, change the colours, and then this is for the inside, and I'd quite like that to have a little bit of stamping and distressing. So we'll come back with this. And put a bit of that on there, and we'll have a butterfly up there, and then we'll just go around the edges with a little bit of inking, and then I could add a sentiment if I wanted to, or I can just write a message. I think I'll be writing a message. I do want to go around with this to give a nice sharp line. There we go. I do like the insides to look nice. And you can, of course, do the envelope as well. which I might do when I'm sending this. So there we have it. That's my case Pinterest for Stampin' Hop. So hope you liked that. If you didn't catch the blog hop, then if you link down below to the blog of this, I'll link to the blog hop and you can see what everybody else has done in their casing of Pinterest. Yeah, so thank you to Gail from Blue Rose Paper Treasures for that idea. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And there's my version. Okay, see you again soon. Bye bye.